when he says you're on for his film, you're like, thank you? Is this that?
Yeah.
And then you go home and scream.
Yeah, I don't go around hugging him and jumping on him. And then she had to say, this is your new car. I won! I won!
What should we start with?
Anything that you want to go for.
Okay.
I am very interested.
Okay.
I've never seen a black belt in real life. I've only heard
This is
about
my second one actually. The other one had my name, my everything, but that was so overused that it started tearing off. So I had to get another one. But that's another cherished one.
So tell me about it. Tell me the story behind.
So I'll tell you how this journey actually started. It started with the fact that I wanted to get into acting, and I thought this is going to be something which is going to help me in my career. You know, if I want to do some action, it should look like I can genuinely do it. So it started from there, but about a lot of stories which are related to my martial arts, like my trip to Korea was so fascinating, so interesting. I was there for a month, and I was all alone in a country which couldn't even speak English. Somebody who cannot cook to save his life. And so I was having 3 meals in a day where I just was given rice, and I got some sort of meat, and I used to put on a frying pan and I used to eat it. Dry food for a month, all 3 meals. But it didn't feel like a stress, or it didn't feel like work. Oh, and also I was out of money.
There you go.
I was out of money. So I was living in a place, I was living in a room which was 5 feet by 6 feet.
How old were you at this point?
I'm guessing 17-ish.
Okay.
So you were saying that you have a lot of weird stories from this.
One of them was, so there was a payphone that I had gone down. I was talking, I don't know, to my then girlfriend or to my mother, I'm not too sure, but...
Girlfriend, I'm sure. Okay, we'll take that.
So then there was a garden in the front, like a park in the front. And suddenly I'm speaking with the phone and I see something happening. I said, okay, I'm going to call you back. This is interesting. So I hung up and I'm just still standing inside the place, inside the booth. And I'm seeing there are 2 men, pissed drunk. One of them was extremely drunk and the other one was drunk, but he had his wife with him. And they started abusing each other. I don't know the why, but because, okay, you know how we are as humans. You learn a foreign language, what do you learn first?
The abusers.
The abusers.
Of course.
So I understood that part of it, that they were abusing each other. And I said, this is going to get interesting. The pissed drunk dude is abusing the other guy. This guy is charging. His wife is stopping him and he's shoving his wife away. She's fallen down a couple of times. And then the guy who was pissed drunk actually started pissing. Standing there peeing, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? And now this guy's become a bull and he's charging towards him. His wife is, I can see this all in slow-mo, is running and trying to stop. And long story short, it ended up with these 2 gentlemen coming together, doing a headstand, failing, falling, getting up, laughing, bumming cigarettes and going their ways.
Man.
See, if only I understood their language.
See, this might not have been that interesting.
You're right about that.
Just because you understood the abuses.
Yes,
That's
was good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
And the action spoke way louder.
Exactly. But listen, you mentioned that you started doing this because you wanted to become an actor and you wanted to do fight sequences.
Correct.
So you've always had this dream?
No, my initial dream, I mean, let's not call it a dream, but what I was focusing on was cricket. I was playing for the Air India club and I was playing decent. But then my height suddenly shot up and the bone under my left knee over here, this is my right, but under my left knee, it sort of came out. And so even if like a slight touch on it and I would be on the floor in pain. So I couldn't play anymore. But not that it shattered me, because I was playing cricket because I enjoyed playing cricket, not thinking of a long-term, I'll make a career in this. And so that's how even acting started. I said, my dad said, why don't you try this, and I did, and I started liking it. Yeah, that's how it happened.
Yeah. So you started training for it initially, and then you got into it, or how did it happen? I want to know that story.
No, there was no training initially. It was my father's idea. He was one who orchestrated everything. I don't know how, because we had no backing as such. So then he would somehow get to know where all the auditions are happening. So he would take me there. I remember my very first audition was somewhere in town. I majorly sucked. I was very young.
Yeah.
I must have been 10ish or something like that.
Oh.
And I see all the boys. There's a massive ass room, bunch of boys in there, young guys.
Yeah.
And initially there used to be this, give you an introduction and then we'll make you act the scene. So in the introduction, I used to see these kids over there and super energized and animated. Hey, my name is Rahul. Hey. And all of this is happening and I'm losing my head. And I'm like, my turn comes in and I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And I froze. My hands down on my sides and all I could say was my name. And they asked me, have you done anything? No. And I said, I want to leave. But they made me perform and obviously it was horrible. But then that's how it started happening. I started getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
That's how I cracked a few auditions here and there then.
Huh. And you did your first film pretty young.
Yeah.
How old were you?
14.
14. So 4 years after this bad audition happened.
Yeah. I turned 14 on the set while I was shooting for it. So yeah.
And how did you back? It was with Manisha Koirala, right?
Correct.
Wow. How did that happen? Tell me stories from that time.
So again, my dad somehow got to know that this audition is happening and it's opposite Manisha Koirala. So it was fascinating. I mean, what is this kind of film we don't know? So I remember we have gone to Powai somewhere and in one of the studios, again, a bunch of kids are there. And the only difference in this was that I could give my audition with the paper in my hand which had all the lines. So no headache of memorizing the lines. And I was bad at memorizing. I could understand but not memorize. They fed me Domino's ka pizza. I had that. And I went for the audition. And I gave it. It went fine.
Yeah.
In the evening, my father gets a call saying that, your kid is selected. Why don't you come to Bandra where we do some formalities. He didn't believe it initially, but then eventually we went over there and, I asked him, sir, when are we starting and, whatever. He said, tomorrow 9 a.m. on set. I said, wait, what? He said, yeah, you were a second thought. You were an afterthought because the guy who was supposed to play your role has kind of backed out. So this emergency audition and that is why you're here. So tomorrow, the place where we auditioned was the studio where we were shooting. So the set was ready. The house was built. And
It was meant for you.
it so happened. I mean, I gifted it to Domino's for that.
But listen, I mean, this is a tough question in that sense. But was it tough as a young kid to also face rejections?
Who the hell understood that?
Yeah, you didn't, huh?
I didn't understand that. I mean, what the hell is rejection? I mean, there are 200 kids applying for one job. At times you're the one, at times you're not the one. So just cherish the times that you get the opportunity. Other times, put it behind you. And I would think of it as that I'm getting paid on the job to learn the job. That used to be my acting class over there. So many times when I didn't have work, I would just go for auditions even though I didn't want a particular ad or something. I just went just so that the ring rust is gone. So I'm just in tune to be in front of the camera at times.
And you had this wisdom back then, or is this hindsight?
No, I had this understanding back then.
Yeah? Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, there is a very smart watch in here.
Yeah.
I would want to know this story.
So, this was technically my first sort of gift that I had given to my dad. And for his 60th. He only wore it once. And he was a man of, didn't really care for all the luxury in the world. He wanted me to have all the luxury that, he could get for me. He didn't care much for it. He didn't care what watch he wore, what shoes he wore, what clothes he's wearing, none of that. So this was just my sort of a gift as an appreciation that, what you've done means the world to me. So he wore it only once. He said only for special occasions will he wear it. And then, so the idea behind this watch is that I'm going to wear it the day I win my first award ever.
The day you?
I win
First
a first
award?
award, I'm going to wear that.
Oh.
So he's with me at that time while receiving the award.
Hey.
So that's the idea behind it.
That's so lovely. So this was how long ago? 60th birthday?
2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was his reaction when you...
A little flustered, didn't know how to react to it, because not that it's an expensive watch that I went out of my means and beyond to get it, but just the gesture of it was something, and it would be the most expensive watch he's ever worn for sure.
Yeah.
But just the gesture of it, that he cherished it. So he would only for one, one good moment, and then never again.
Yeah. There's always so much talk about a father-son relationship, right? And it's mostly a negative light that they don't express. And I think we've spoken
same with me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. We had the same relationship. There was no expressing much. There was never an I love you said. There was never a good job said. But there were 2 times that I remember that I got a pat on my back without any words being said, and that was more than enough. I understood that his way of showing love is more action than words, because everything that I've done in my life up till now, every decision that has been taken has been him. And touch wood, I'm very happy where I am. So whatever he's done for me has been great for me. Be it the decision to start my martial arts, to which school I went to which college I should be in, to what acting classes I should be doing, to where should I learn dance, to everything was just him. But boys are naive to not understand this love language. You understand it much later. I was fortunate enough that in the last 2 years that I had with him, Anushka was the one, my wife was the one who made me understand his love language. And I saw that my relationship with him became different, at least in my eyes. I started seeing a lot more of what he does and he had done than just saying that I love you. He did more than just say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so nice. And I mean, I wish that more people actually, everybody has a different love language. That is absolutely true.
Yes.
But did you ever as a kid wish that it was more than that, or?
I didn't know of it, right? So that was the world we were living in. That was the world we were brought up in. Even my cousins, we're a very close-knit family. It's always been the same. I mean, there's not been much of a communication. So we thought this is our normal. And then you started meeting more people and understanding the way other people live. And not that there's something wrong in the way you're living, but it's just your normal. So you didn't know better or worse. You didn't know any different.
That's true.
Till the time you understand it, however long it takes, you get it. But then if there is somebody else's experience who you can understand this more from, then you start respecting the relationship a lot more.
And I don't know how comfortable you're talking about it, but like you mentioned that the last couple of years when you were with him is when you actually started appreciating the love language. And then what was that like when, the entire, when he was not there anymore, what was... struggling to find words myself because I can't imagine. So I mean, only if you're comfortable.
No, that's
answering,
fine. So I lost him to COVID. So then the entire base kind of shakes. You don't understand where you are, what you're gonna do. You don't know what your next step is gonna be, because he was the rock in the family. He was the one who, without saying much, would provide. And if dad was there, you don't have to worry about anything else. Even when I was having my downs in my career, like some of my films, though we had a lot of expectations, did not work. He was the only one who said that you keep doing what you're doing because you're good at it. Don't worry about how the house is going to run and everything. That's on me. That's my job to do. You do this. So my entire base sort of shook up. I didn't know what to do next. I still don't know what to do next. I don't know what my next step should be. I'm a little lost at the moment. I'm trying to find a footing. It's like the safety net that you've always had is so unexpectedly and before time
Yeah.
just taken away. So you're just like falling and falling and falling, but you haven't hit the ground yet. But
Yeah.
so you're in just that trance state.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, thank you for sharing that
Absolutely.
with me. Yeah. Okay. Where do we go next? Oh, there's a medal.
Yeah, there are a couple
Okay.
of medals. So these are two medals that I'd won in school. The silver and the gold. I had won a few more, but the silver is the more important one than the gold one. I'll tell you why. So this was during the 10th. In my 10th, when I had gotten this, we had a sports day happening. And before that, you have the heats so that you know who's going to be running in the final races, right?
Yeah.
So there were these two guys who were extremely fast. And so they finished the race first. After a gap was me, and after a gap was the fourth person.
Yeah.
So on the final day, I don't understand what happened. And I remember my dad was there, my mom was there, and when the ready, get, set, go happened, I was sort of the last one to take off. So my parents, they told me this, that they had given up, that because I was the last one in there, so they had given up. But somehow something in me happened, and I said, I can't be losing.
Yeah.
And I came in a second. I beat the guy who was the fastest, who was the sports captain at the time. There was a guy who came first. I came in second, and that guy came in third. I don't know how it happened, because I wasn't that as fast as they were. What happened that day, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Is why this is important. Is why this happened. In the next race, I got that confidence that mere mortals, I'll take them down.
Yeah.
And I did. So this one was the more important one than this.
Yeah.
This led to this. That is why I always cherish this one.
Yeah, it's so important to cherish that
Yeah.
in order to even understand the value of
Yeah.
that. So, yeah. That's
That
so
is
true.
why.
Hey, but listen, whatever stories we've discussed so far,
Yeah.
you've kind of been the achiever in the stories,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if you've noticed that, but like there's the belt, multiple. There's the medals. There's getting the film. Have you always been like the achiever in the family as well?
I've always been somebody who's been focusing on the good things. I have this belief, and it's not something that has been taught to me or I haven't read in a self-help book. But I've always had this thought that last में जो भी होगा वो अच्छा ही होगा मेरे साथ. So that is what I focus on. I'm just enjoying the journey while it happens.
You just wired that way?
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody fed this into me. I'm just wired that way.
Yeah.
I just know end में जो होगा. It's my belief.
Yeah.
And I strongly believe it. कि last में जो भी होगा वो अच्छा ही होगा. Even from 10, if I go to a 20, अच्छा ही हुआ ना मेरे साथ.
Yeah.
10 से 20 पे तो आया मैं. I haven't gone to a 2.
Yeah. But was there a moment like when you mentioned like even these films that some of them you're expecting that
Yeah.
they would really perform well?
Yeah.
And I think with films, like I've heard so many actors also say this, that you put in so much, and
Yeah.
that's true for anybody, right? When you're
Yeah.
working on a project or
Of
anything,
course.
you put in months and years of effort,
Yeah.
expecting something
Yeah.
out of it, and when it does not do well, or
Yeah.
it tanks, or you hear like criticism around it, it affects you deeply. It affects some people very deeply.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you're wired to be positive, but was there any moment in one of these films where
Of course. I'm human
one
at the end of the
Friday,
day.
yeah,
There was this film which was called Tumbin 2. On paper, everything was right about it.
yeah,
Had a good director, we had a good producer, we had good songs. I think a week or 2 weeks before the film came out, demonetization was announced. So nobody watched the film. So I had a lot of expectations, so did my family from the film, and it didn't work out. And then that phase, that doubt sort of crept in a little bit, that is it even going to happen? Because to get that break was an uphill battle itself. And now when you've gotten the break and it does not do well,
Yeah.
the next one is even tougher. Because nobody wants to put money on you then.
Yeah.
So the next one was even tougher. So I was like, okay, this is going to be a bigger challenge now. So the doubts did creep in. It's not the right way to have dealt with it, but this was my defense mechanism. I didn't have much of an understanding then. What I used to do was, I didn't want to hear from anybody else that I was a failure.
yeah,
that would make it real.
Yeah.
Right? So, and especially when it comes from family, somebody at home saying something,
Yeah.
it can just, I'm wired that way that it can break me.
Yeah.
So there were times when my mom would have conversation with my dad that, you know what, this is not working out and, you know, humne galti kar di, maybe we should have done something else. And she's, in her place, she's absolutely right because being a mother,
Yeah.
you know, she wants
Yeah, to
her
protect
child to
you
be
and want to-
protected
yeah.
and settled and, you know, all of that. So those conversations would break me. So what I started doing was I would wake up really late. So my dad was in the office then. I would quickly have my breakfast in the morning or whatever time I woke up. And I would leave the house. No agenda, no nothing. Just be out all day for as long as I can.
Yeah.
Calling up people just to know if they are free so I can go and hang with them. But returning home only when both of them are asleep. So I don't have to have this conversation ever.
Yeah.
It can't be real for me. So that's how I was.
How long did you do
I
this
realized
for?
it later,
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah?
It went on for a while.
Wow.
Became a lifestyle, honestly. Eventually, yeah, I had to break out of it.
Yeah.
Then there were conversations with my dad who said, is when he said, Ki, you just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're good at it. Is when I sort of got back on the horse and I said, okay, I need to do this again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine, yeah. I mean, especially for like a newcomer when you're just entering and it's anyway such a
It was-
competitive space.
And it was so difficult to get that break and then to
Yeah.
have, you know, done everything correct. My director was extremely happy with me.
Yeah.
He thought I did a good job. People on set were telling me your life is going to be changing. So you have these expectations.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, boom, nothing.
Yeah. And also because of an external factor, right? Like
Yeah.
there's...
Nothing to do with me.
Yeah, exactly. That's just so irritating.
It's happened
Yeah.
multiple times with me.
Yeah.
Multiple times. So now I'm tuned to it.
Yeah.
One good thing happened for me, student happened for me, and then
Yeah.
after that, lockdown. And things just... So yeah, it keeps happening. It's a parcel of life.
Yeah. But how did you bag student?
Again, an audition, I was sitting at home. I had fortunately made some good connections with people in the right places. And I got to know of this role which was being cast for. I won't be taking names.
Yeah.
And when I called up the person in charge of casting for that, XYZ told me that no, that casting is already done. We have gotten some new guy. He's some foreigner dude. And I said, okay, it doesn't make sense, but okay, if you're telling me so. Then again, I read about it in the papers, and again, I approach this person, and the person again says the same thing. And so I leave it at that. And then months later, I get a call from somebody else. And this person tells me that I've given your name and go and test for it. I said, but isn't the role already cast for? I said, no. Just do as I'm saying. So I went for it and gave my test. And then the next one was with the director, and he sort of said, you know what, for me, you're finalized, but the big boss, Karan, will take the call, final call. And then I had a meeting with Karan. And I'm in the Dharma office. You know what I'm saying? For every guy who's been in the business,
Yeah.
that is like the Mecca.
Yeah.
All right. So, firstly, for me to enter over there,
Yeah.
I'm just losing my head. And then for Karan to tell me, yeah, you're on, I like you, and we're on for the film, blah, blah, blah. For me to read 2 days later that somebody else has put in an article in the paper saying that that person is finalized for the film. And I'm like, what the hell is up? So I sort of messaged Karan, having a different conversation, but coming down to this one that I read this about the paper. He said, don't worry, that guy's PR is working overtime and you're on. If I've told you you're on, you're on. I said, okay, cool. And I just took a back seat.
How is that moment in a Dharma office when Karan Johar tells you you're on for his film? Like, how? Like, how do you not scream?
You don't understand. You just don't understand. Firstly, just to be in that office, not that it's a big ass office, but it's not intimidating. But you know the person that you're meeting.
Yeah.
And the person is not intimidating, but you know who he is.
Yeah.
So I was extremely careful. I was not this free. I was just making sure that every step that I take is the right step.
Yeah.
And very, very nervous.
Yeah.
So it took me a couple of meetings for me to just ease down
Yeah.
and be normal.
And when he says that, what do? You say thank you.
Huh? What
You
do
just
you do?
say, when he says you're on for his film, you're like, thank you? Is this that?
Yeah.
And then you go home and scream.
Yeah, I don't go around hugging him and jumping on him. That's not happening. And I'm trying to make small talk, weird ass small talk. That I'm trying to keep the conversation alive. That let's become, let's be friends. And there was this lamp kept on the side table of the sofa, which had an AK-47, a gold-plated AK-47, not a real one, but a gold-plated AK-47 with a black one. And I'm just looking at it, and I said, should I speak about this? Should I not speak about this? So I'm having conversations in my head before I'm having conversations. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did.
I did. So I'm just calculating my conversations. That should I say this? Speak it in my head? Can. And then I say it.
Approved.
Approved.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then it ended up happening.
Yes.
And yeah, it's wow. Okay, cool. Listen,
I've just gotten one last thing, which is
the most important thing.
Yeah. I mean, I won't say the most important, but equally important.
For me, in this box, it's the most important thing. For you, we'll get to know. It's his wedding ring.
Yes, it's my wedding ring.
Does it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I thought it's like engraved.
No.
So, how did this happen? Let's go before the wedding, actually. How did Yes.
Okay.
How far back do you want to go?
The day I met her.
Okay, let's start.
2017, July 26th-ish. June or July 26th. So Anushka had she and her mother run an NGO called Beti. And so they have an event every year just to raise awareness, just to raise some funds. So I was called to for the event over there, and I went, not knowing that she already knows of me because she had stalked my pictures through a friend and kind of found me cute. So she started speaking with me. I was extremely uncomfortable. She's a very powerful woman. So, when she's speaking, you listen to her. So I was a little nervous, and I was there before anybody else because I hadn't done my costume trials. So I'm trying to keep the conversation short, and I wear my costume and I come out and she says, do you like it? I said, if it's good for you, it's good for me. So you take the call. So she thought I'm just, being a little aloof and a bit in my head. So she started making a few conversations. I got a little comfortable and we spoke. So we were inseparable that evening. I hung out with her later also with her friends, and we went to her house. All her friends were there. And then she was one who kept making more efforts. There's a restaurant opening. A friend of mine is opening a restaurant. Do you want to go and check it out? I said, okay, for sure. Why not?
And by this time, you had like a...
I had stalked her fully by then.
Yeah, okay. By the way, what a boss move on her part. She had a crush on him and she invites him for an event.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Okay.
Fully. Then I fully stalked her by now.
Yeah.
I've shown to my friends. I used to run a restaurant at that time. So, hum four ladke, four friends used to do it. I'm like, yeah, this is the girl. She's the one who I met, and just showing them all the pictures, blah, blah. And so she was the one who made it easy for me. And I started falling for her. And cut to, this was October 6th of the same year. I've met her a few months, and we're friends, we're close, we're having fun. And this was Diwali of that year. And I tell her that I want to date you. And she said, no, let's just... Because she's been burnt in her previous relationships. I've been burnt, but I've been more of the relationship kind of person. So I was single for 6 months and I was not liking what I was doing at all. And I said, this is giving me some sense of stability.
Yeah.
So I said, I want to date you.
Yeah.
And I hate saying this because people take it in the wrong way, but I was sitting on her. I was sitting on her.
While you were saying this?
Yeah.
No pressure.
Yeah. Don't take me the wrong way. मैं ज़बरदस्ती नहीं कर रहा था, but in a way कर रहा था. I said, if you don't date me, I won't get out. So I was literally sitting here. I'm sitting here, and I said, but I want to date you. What the hell is the problem? Give me a chance. So she kind of had to agree to it. Don't take notes. Guys, don't take notes. It's not the right way. But my intentions were
I
correct.
can't imagine the number of guys who are just going to sit on their girlfriends.
Girlfriend? She wasn't even my girlfriend then. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And she said,
she had to. What the hell?
yes, get up.
Grown-ass man sitting on her. So, yeah, so she had to.
Yeah.
But then she saw that gesture as something which was real, that she'd only met people who were not the ones who wanted to be in a relationship. They were just fooling around. And there was this one guy randomly saying that I want to be in a relationship with you. I want to commit to you. What's wrong with that? So then she was skeptical, but then she said yes. And I was 1000% sure that I'm going to end up with this girl, and is why we were traveling for New Year's the same year, and I wanted to take a ring and I wanted to propose to her. I was so sure. I knew it that she's going to be the one for me.
Is
I
it a
didn't.
feeling? Or
I
is
don't
it
know.
like
It just felt something.
Yeah?
I felt it. This is going to be. I knew it. That's why a couple of times that we've had fights, she would be really angry at something, and I would not take it seriously. I said, "Tu jhagad le, tu jo karna hai, aayegi to wapas se." I was like, I know for a fact you're not going anywhere because I know we're gonna end up together. I just knew it. I don't know why. So yeah, I wanted to take a ring for her, but I didn't. But I told her friend who lives in London that she was there chilling with us, and I had a couple of drinks in me, and I told her that this was my plan. She said, "Are you crazy? How long do you know her?" I said, "Sabina, it's been 6 months of knowing her and 3 months of dating." Like, are you crazy? And then she went and told her. I said, what's wrong with you? Yeah.
And then she was like,
She
"Don't
didn't
do
tell
it?"
me. She told me later.
Oh, she told you later.
Yeah, she told me later. No, I knew it was too early for her, not for me.
Yeah.
I was ready. But yeah,
Wow.
that's what happened.
So when did it finally happen?
21st of November, 21.
He remembers all the dates. 10
It's
on
not
10.
it's not been that long also, no?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Still though,
Yeah.
he knows the date he met her,
Yeah.
proposed, sat on her and proposed.
Sat on her and proposed.
But and how is that like when you did you ask her out like for
So
marriage?
the proposal was sort of different. The day we got married was 21st November, but I had given her a promise ring. This was, I think, her 30th birthday, and we were celebrating in a romantic city. We were in Paris at that time. I've only started traveling after I've been with her. I
Yeah.
haven't traveled international before that, so it's a very new experience for me as well. So then I told my mom, I told my parents that this is, my sister as well. So I told them that, this is what my plan is, and they were very happy for me. And so I had planned everything. I went with my sister to, especially design a ring. I didn't want to buy off one because I wanted to be personalized. So I went and I got everything done. Now, this is her birthday. We have gone to a beautiful restaurant. We had a great meal. We've come back. Now I've laid out all the gifts for her in the room, and everything was personalized.
Yeah.
And then I give her my iPad, and I said, just play this, please. So she plays the video. It was a video of all her family, her friends, and my niece, just wishing her happy birthday and just saying what she means to them. So it starts off with my niece, who was much younger at that time. She says, she used to call her Anishka. So she said, "Hi Anishka, happy birthday." So that's where it starts off. And then it goes into her friends and her family. And the last video was me. And now she's here, I'm right behind her, okay? And she's just looking at this and she's bawling already. So there, she plays a video of mine. Oh, it's one video, sorry. So my video comes up and it says, I want to say so much to you, but I don't have the words. So why don't you just turn around? And she turns and I was holding the ring for her. And then both of us are bawling our eyes out. And then the next day I have a video. So this wasn't a proposal, this was a promise ring because I hadn't asked her mom or dad. So then that had to wait. So then I've called up my mom, my sister the next day, and I'm showing it to her that, it's on.
What a cutie! Wow, who would have, like, you can't say no to that.
Try to.
Just can't.
Sitting on her and then doing this. Na to bol ke dikhaye.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just too cute.
Thank you.
Then did she ever propose you as well, or?
No, then I had to go and do the task of. Her mom was always on my side. Dad. Dad. Dad was no easy task.
You had to make a separate video for him.
He wasn't in the video. Couldn't ask him. So no, Dad was a difficult task to speak to. He's a scary man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I would always be timid around him when I'm meeting him anywhere, neutral or in his house. I would be, yes, uncle, how are you? You know, and then he was not that he had a problem with me. He just had a problem with his daughter being in a relationship and then marrying somebody, because for him, Anushka is like a part of him, like a piece of him.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the thing. So the day I got married, next day, so we live in the same building now. So her parents live in the B-wing, I live in the A-wing. All right. I've taken a house in there. So the next day I've gone to my father-in-law's house. From this, that.
I'm a son-in-law now.
None of that. I won. I won. That's the first thing I told Anushka. I won.
Oh man, this is just
I
epic.
took down the mighty Shashi. I won. So tab se to
Full swag.
full swag.
And that is amazing.
All right, all of this is yours.
Yeah.
All right, should I go for it?
You
Tell
pick.
me. All right, tell me this.
No, you have to tell me stories.
Why the hell do I have? This is not mine.
No, but I mean, these are, I've got these objects for you.
So how can I tell you a story?
Okay, so the idea is that you pick anything, and for instance, there's a camera in here, so maybe you can tell me a story from a set.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
like that. Okay. Oh, like that. All right, all right. So one of my fondest memories, one of the most beautiful memory, it just made me understand a little bit more about life, was when I was working on my first film, which is a Choti Si Love Story. There was this lady who was playing my grandmother. I remember her name, Saroj Bhargav. And she was very old at that time. She had a nurse on set constantly, very ill. And she was a theatre actor. And my director, Shashilal Nair, had told her one day that, must have seen her in some play, and told her that मैं एक दिन आपको ना अपनी फिल्म में लूँगा ज़रूर. And this was the first film she did. And she shot for the film. She dubbed for the film. But before the film came out, she passed away. And I was like, she waited for that one thing, maybe that was something that she wanted to do all her life. That's something that meant to her that मुझे वो एक फिल्म करनी है जो मुझसे किसी ने मुझे कहा है. And I just try and understand life from that. Just she waited for that one thing. She finished her job. She finished her job. She had a nurse. She had oxygen tank with her throughout on the set, but she finished her job.
Wow.
And she was at peace then.
Comes just like that. Wow.
Yeah. Beautiful. What a lady. There was this one scene in the film where she tells me not to leave her and go. And fortunately, the camera was on her. And she started actually crying. She wasn't meant to cry in that shot, but she started crying and looking at her, just couldn't control. So we are shooting here. My director's room was somewhere there, so he had a camera inside.
Yeah.
As soon as the shot got done, I have gone on the bed, which was on set, and I started crying. My director has sprinted from his room, must have been good 150, 200 meters, sprinted and just run and gave her a hug. Because it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I want to pick one object. This is a magic wand.
Oh. Okay.
Do you believe in magic?
I believe in manifestation, which I believe is a sort of magic. Something you manifest it and believe it, and it does happen. That is magic.
Yeah.
And I just bought a Harry Potter ka magic wand for the house. I just bought that recently.
Do you have a story that you can think of? A moment in your life which felt like just pure magic?
There have been multiple, but it just sounds too wrong. That's the only thing. So I don't know what this manifestation was. So my father, when he was working and running his business and blah. I remember one day, many years ago, I was much younger, and he said, if we continue the business like this for a few more years, and I'll be able to buy a Mercedes for myself. And it just sort of got stuck in me. And only thing he liked was cars. Only thing he liked. So I said, that kind of stuck in me. So I waited for those, he had said 5 years. I waited for those 5 years. It was with me in my head for 5 years. Did not happen. Never happened. And then this is before the lockdown, and student was already out. And God knows how, it was just in me, and Anushka was with me, and I said, this is what he had once said.
Yeah.
And I just feel like maybe I can do it. And so I because I had been manifesting this for so long, that in 5 years and 5 years and 5 years.
Yeah.
So I went with her to the showroom and cracked a deal, and I said, just take my car, don't let me think twice, because if I do think, I'll never do it.
Yeah.
And swiped it. I said, okay, now it's done. EMI ka hum dekh lenge, baad mein kaisa hoga. Didn't tell my parents at all. So the day of the delivery, I just told my parents that, aapko aana hai mere saath. We have to go to this place. My manager's calling me, and you have to sign as a guarantee that if I don't pay them, then they'll catch hold of you. He said, why the hell will that happen? I said, Arey, mandate hai, aapko karna hai, aa jao. So now we're in the showroom. And for some reason, Anushka is also there. So they still don't know what the hell is up.
Oh.
And they're like, हम यहाँ क्या कर रहे हैं? I said, वो ऊपर से आएगा, manager हमको लेके जाएगा ऊपर, and we'll go to the office. Okay. So we're just waiting. Then there's a car covered with that car cover. Car covered with the car cover. And so we walk up to that, and Anushka tells both my parents that, अरे वो पकड़ो, they hold it, and pulled it out, and my mom still didn't know. And then she had to say, this is your new car. And they just didn't know how to react. Aww. They just had no idea. And I just gave the key to him first. I said, so I believe it works. Yeah. I believe it works.
It was just in your head for so long, subconsciously.
Subconsciously.
That it just
for so
somehow
long.
happened.
I remember him telling me in 5 years, if we keep doing this the way we are, he'll get a Merc. And he very specifically said Merc. And it just happened.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
You can't imagine how they must have felt in that moment. Yeah.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful. Okay. Should we move to the next segment?
Sure.
The next segment is called Keep It Honest. And इस segment में सारा स्वाद, प्यार, सब everything is bought by the lovely Nick Ice Cream.
Oh, right.
Lovely, beautiful, amazing ice cream जो मैं तो बहुत time से खा रही हूँ. And I'm the most excited about this segment because I just get to sit and eat ice cream while listening to your stories. So the idea here is that we'll eat ice cream. I'm going to throw words at you. And whatever comes to your mind, it's a story, qissa, whatever thought, philosophy, you just share it with me.
All right.
And ideally, we should be able to finish our ice cream before the segment finishes.
Okay.
So we keep eating and talking.
Are you giving me a tub of ice cream? No.
No, it's not a tub. It's a chotu ice cream.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, cool. Dog.
Miha. I only relate. My dog's name is Miha. So, yeah. They're my first pet. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Oh,
When?
so she's in Indie. We rescued her, and she's been with us for like 5, 6 years now. And the most beautiful looking dog.
Yeah.
And कोई बोलेगा नहीं सड़क छाप है. But सबसे बड़ी फट्टू है. One additional person in the house and she's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But the people who she's comfortable with, she'll just keep jumping on you all day. It's beautiful just to have a pet. I love it. I love her.
Yeah, dogs are just the best.
Yeah. But she hates other dogs.
Yeah.
Hates them. She hated her own sister. So they were a litter of 3.
Yeah.
The other sister was adopted by somebody else, some other family. They had an emergency, so they had to leave town. So they somehow approached us, and my friend said he's okay to foster
Yeah.
Ginger. Her name is Ginger. So now in our heads, we're like, "Arey, Karan, Arjun, दोनों को मिलवाते हैं. दोनों बहनें मिलेंगी, Sita, Geeta, ये will be fun."
Yeah.
Fucking hated each other. Hated each other. Can't stand each other.
So Miha, you said.
Miha, yeah.
Miha. So Miha stays with you currently, or?
Yeah.
Nice.
So because I'm the A wing, my in-laws are in the B wing. So from evening up till the next day morning, she's gonna be with us, and then she goes for her morning walk, and then she's in the other house for that long. So enjoying best of both the worlds.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cricket is my next word.
Ooh, passion. I have played a lot of cricket. I watch a lot of cricket. I have watched a lot of cricket, and something about cricket is just. It's not just me, it's been my entire family.
Yeah.
4 of us, including my mother, my sister, we all used to sit and watch cricket whenever the matches used to happen. And ye nahi ki it's just watching, we had our opinions. And like proper opinions ki yaar ye ball kyun dal di yaar, aare ye fielder yahan kyun khada hai yaar, ye nahi karna chahiye tha. So we had proper opinions and everything. I remember when we won the T20 World Cup, it was me and my sister, we were at home and we were watching. And we had almost lost the match, right? It was gone. And then you see that Misbah ul Haq doing that and the catch being taken. And Shrikant caught the catch. And me and my sister, we've just looked at each other and I don't know out of where we've just jumped towards each other and we are holding each other and jumping and we won. It's like I personally won the World Cup. It just felt like that.
Yeah.
So it means that so much to us.
Yeah.
I was I'd gone to get my hair cut and I had a particular reference. So I showed the guy, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is just a few days ago. And now the test match is going on India, Australia, all right? And I'm watching the match. So on my phone, I've kept it there. This dude is doing something. And I look up, I said, Abhi, ye kya kar diya tune? It wasn't supposed to be this buzzed, according to the reference, but I wasn't paying attention because I was watching the match. I said, chalo.
Do you also have like a cricket story where you watched it live?
I've watched a few matches live. I've seen an IPL match live. It was Mumbai and... Oh, fabulous story. Love it.
Yes.
So, such stupid people. So this was a Mumbai-Pune match when Pune as a team used to exist.
Yeah.
So we've gone to Pune to watch the match. Now it was a friend's birthday. So he had booked a entire bus, a luxury bus, a Mercedes ka bus tha. And he'd booked that. Now, out of our enthusiasm, we've just stuck Mumbai Indians ka flag on it. Now we've entered the stadium in the parking lot and we had curtains and everybody's just looking at the bus. They thought the Mumbai Indians ki team aayi hai. So we realized this. So hum muh nahi nikal rahe hain, parde mein se haath nikal ke we're just waving out to people. We are here. Yeah. Made them wait for 10 minutes and then we walked out. So they're pissed. Now we've gone into the stadium and for some reason, we didn't even know, it was an all Pune stadium.
Yeah.
So only Pune supporters could be there, no Mumbai. But now, because we've already bought the tickets, they can't stop us, but they have taken every merchandise away. So we had the flags, we had the blowhorns, a lot of shit. And now I'm pissed. I said, you can't do this. I don't care if it's an all Pune stand. And we are like 25, 30 of us. and surrounded by every Pune supporter. And we are screaming on the top of our lungs that and Mumbai was batting first, so every four that we've hit or every one run also we are cheering and just वहाँ पे सामने नहीं पीछे पवेलियन था पुणे का और उसमें वो अंकित शर्मा who was a bowler for Pune at that time. He was budged out by Chris Gayle for multiple sixes in the previous match. So we just turning towards him in frustration, like, hey, Chris Gayle, Chris Gayle, Chris Gayle. The guys walked off. He's gone inside. So we just pissing everybody off. But the problem was that Mumbai finished the innings on 121, 122.
Yeah.
Which is nothing
in
a T20 match. So now everybody's abusing us. So now we've gone into now the other innings is about to start. So we said, forget it, the match is lost. We can at least go and have a few drinks. So we've gone to the lounge downstairs and we are watching the match on the TV over there. But we are drinking and we are pretty tipsy by now. Now suddenly I see the match getting a little more interesting. I said, okay, guys, let's just go up back. So we go back up. Now even the security guard said, "Arey sir, lo aur jao, jo karna hai karo." So all the merchandise has been given to us, all the blowhorns. So now we have come back like with fury and flags and this and that. We won on the last ball.
Are you serious?
And we are screaming and shouting. And so as soon as we won, we've just run towards the exit of that stand and we're just waving bye to everybody. All Pune supporters pissed off. We walked out like champions that night. So much fun. So much fun. Our voices, our throats were gone.
Oh my God,
Fully
it's
gone.
an epic story.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Sapne. Can I ask you a question, actually, just related to Sapne? What do you like, because you also spoke about manifestation. What is that big dream as of today? Let's manifest it now.
I don't ask for anything particular.
Yeah.
No. Why limit yourself? I just manifest a successful and happy life is all I ask for. That's the only thing. Happiness first. And everything else will follow. So I don't say मुझे मेरे bank account में इतना पैसा चाहिए. That is still limiting myself by giving myself a number.
Yeah.
या मुझे ये गाड़ी चाहिए या मुझे वो घर चाहिए या could be anything. That's just me limiting myself. So I just say happy life and a successful life. That's all.
You don't have like that one moment where you're like, idhar, this movie, this.
Have you seen Setting Sunset?
Yeah.
The show. You've seen the houses. Every time I see them, like ये वाला घर, ये वाला घर, ये वाला घर. But that's just still. Now that's just giving a visual to.
Yeah.
What it could be, but you want more. I mean, everybody wants more, but be satisfied in what you have. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Okay, I'm going to give you one last word. But I do have a feeling that you will have a good story, good airport story.
I hope I don't.
You do.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Happened very recently. So it was my friend's birthday, and four of us, we decided that we're gonna go to Phuket for his birthday.
Okay.
This was, I'm guessing, a couple of years ago.
Huh.
Now, one of my friends, he was extremely excited because he was traveling abroad after a while.
Okay.
A while. So he was very excited. He was the one who made the entire plan and said he was the one who was taking more interest in booking the hotel, in the villa and this and that. One of my friends was already in Bangkok, so he was supposed to join us day 2. So now we're so we went to his house, lives in Bandra. Flight was at 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we said we'll chill with you, have a few drinks here and then start the party from here.
Yeah.
So then we've left, we've gone to the airport, we've reached the airport and anyway it's 3 or 4, so you're anyway not in the right space and you've had a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
So I'm at the counter, I've taken my boarding pass, my friend's taken his, the birthday boy's taken his boarding pass, his other friend took a couple of minutes but got his boarding pass.
Yeah.
Done the security, now we are at immigration and mine is done, birthday boy's is done. And for some reason, this guy is stuck. And he's one step away. Like, you cross immigration, you're done. And then suddenly I see that he's being taken to the office, immigration office over there. So we're waiting. Kuch hoga. Me and my friend, we're just talking. And suddenly we see him. After 5 minutes, he's still standing over there. So we go up to him. He said, "Kya hua?" Bola, "Arey yaar, mera passport nahi de raha hai," saying it's damaged and all. So I go up to the guy. I said, "Sir, kya ho gaya? Damage hai, chhod do, chale aayenge." He's come. And he showed me the passport in 2 pieces. It's in 2 pieces. And I've told this idiot, I said, "Did you know about this?" He said, "I mean, the girl at the counter giving me the boarding pass told me it's damaged." I said, "Why did you not tell us? I don't advise this, but there was a pharmacy. I could have taken some Fevikwik, done something to figure it out." But no, he didn't bother. He said, "यार मैम अब दो ना यार, मैं देख लूँगा आगे जाके immigration पे."
What the
So
hell?
then me and my friends now, we are in Dharm Sankat. We're thinking, my friend says, "So kya, should we? Should we go back with him?" I said, "Are you mad or what?"
He left him.
He's taken a leave from his office and he's excited. He's told everybody in the office. And the next morning at 9 a.m., they see him walking in over there, sad and upset,
chap.
almost in tears. Then, so we have stayed the night over there. Then the next day, my other friend who was in Bangkok, he comes over there and he doesn't believe it. I said, "Search the entire villa. If you find him, you tell me." He said, "Arey, kahan gaya hai? Bata do, bata do, bata do." Took him half an hour, took a video call to this guy to prove it to him that this actually happened.
Oh my god, I'm feeling so bad for that guy.
Yeah. I had a good time, so I don't care.
And more than not going, it's the fact that you had to go back to office the next day. You would have
go
problem
back
with
to
मैं
office.
Phuket जा रहा हूँ. Oh god. Wow.
I know. Oh, can I tell you one more one?
Yes,
This is
please.
not airport,
Huh.
but it's related to something to do with plane, but not a real plane.
Huh.
But it was fun.
Huh.
So me and a couple of my friends,
Huh.
we usually, my phase where I used to be out of the house.
Huh.
So 3 of us, we were just roaming about the streets and we were near the aeroplane garden over there in Santa Cruz, right? So now we're just chilling on the streets, we're talking and and suddenly it starts raining. So outside that garden, there was this ganne ka counter, which was shut because it's in the middle of the night. So it's raining, so we're standing under it. And another dude who was passing by, he takes shelter under the same thing. Now this friend of mine, he's a Sardar, hilarious guy, one of the funniest dudes you'll ever meet. And you meet him once, you'll never forget him. So he looks at me and does this, and he starts speaking. And such a bad, shitty story, but he sold it so well. So he sold a story where under that plane, which is over there, उसके नीचे 40 करोड़ का सोना गड़ा हुआ है. 40 करोड़ का सोना गड़ा हुआ है उसके नीचे. And I'm like, but तू इतना जोर से क्यों बोल रहा है? ये भी तो यहाँ पे खड़ा है. बोल रहा है अब तो सुन लिया उसने. That guy bought it. I kid you not. I said हमारा प्लान ये है. वहाँ जैसे पुलिस स्टेशन over there. I said जब पुलिस नहीं दिखेगी, यहाँ से कूद के हम अंदर जाएंगे और यहाँ पे हम खोदना चालू करेंगे. तुम पहरा देना, आएगी तो बताना और हम मिल बांट के we're gonna keep the money, the gold for ourselves. This dude has bought it. This dude, I kid you not, this dude has bought it. So now, 5 minutes later, we told him, okay, we have everything in the car. Our car is parked on the opposite side. So we're just gonna take the car around, park it over here, then we'll get all the shovel and everything out, and we'll get down to the job. He said, okay, ready. So we got in the car, taken a U-turn, looked at him and driven by.
Oh my god.
He was gonna be 10 crores richer that day. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He bought it. My friend sold it extremely well.
This sounds like a scene from a movie. It's like